I think from our point of view, we are all about simplifying the entire process. We don't want to make it, a very complicated process or just to give you headaches, right? So we really want to make sure that, an integration will try to solve some of the current issues that you have. So then the question is, why integrate? So here you have 4 buckets. And first of all, we have collaboration. When you have an integration, you are able to activate existing data. And this means that you get a full overview of your customers. And once you have these 2, then you are able to enable teams to collaborate even better. The second bucket is about efficiency. Of course, we are all focused on being efficient. I think that's what we want in any company, right? And what an integration will do is that will remove double data entries, right? There will not be, so again, as I mentioned before, we do not want to overcomplicate things when it comes to integrations in general. We want to make sure that integrations can be made easy, right? We want to make sure that that's something that's approachable to a lot of users. So when it comes to Rapidi, Rapidi is an innovative iPaaS. So we do focus on simplicity. So simplicity refers to our design, installation, and use. And also, it's a cloud integration system that actually has pre-configured templates. So these templates will allow you to quickly integrate various systems. When you use the templates, you actually you are able to use those specific mappings that have been built based on best practices, recommendations, and feedback from customers. So you will use the, let's say, the result of all that work, and then you can apply it on your specific integration. And of course, we do have extensive expertise in integrating Dynamics ERPs, Salesforce, but we also extend everything to, other systems. Our work is not limited to the Dynamics world, so to speak. And speaking of that, here we have Rapidi's most common endpoints. Of course, we do focus on Dynamics 365 ERPs and Salesforce integrations, but our work is not limited to that. We can definitely work on other types of integrations with other systems. We can work on integrating SQL databases, Oracle databases, HubSpot, or any other systems that you need to integrate. There's a lot of potential there, so there's a lot of support already built. I think we just need to get your specific requirements and understand what you want to do, and I think we can definitely work on it. But of course, our offerings, I think, are pretty extended, so you can definitely reach out to us if you have a quite, let's say, custom system or a very peculiar one, because we will do our best to help you with that. And of course, when it comes to our platform, so it's an iPaaS, right? There's no staging of your data. It is very easy to be set up and configured, and there's no programming required. So here, this is a very important part because you don't need to be a developer or a person with a lot of technical expertise in order to work on this integration. So here we have a few things on the list. We have data mapping and transformation. We have real-time synchronization, customization, scalability, automated workflows, security measures, and monitoring and analytics. Let's take a look at them one by one. So first one would be data mapping and transformation. So when it comes to Rapidi, we are able to map and transform any data without, any major effort. So that can happen between Dynamics ERPs and Salesforce. And this can happen via the pre-built mapping templates. But of course, this doesn't mean that you have to use them no matter what. So if you have a very specific process and you say, oh, this doesn't fit what we actually do right now, then you can definitely just have separate data flows that would do what they are supposed to do. And of course, we offer support for custom data fields. So sometimes we For example, we need to have custom fields either in the ERP or in Salesforce. So we support that. So the only thing that we need for that is to have access to those specific fields and make sure that we can read them. But other than that, anyone can use any type of custom fields. And of course, we do offer an intuitive data mapping interface. So you can customize your current data flows. This means that if you've worked on an integration and then after a specific time you think that you need to adjust it because things have changed, then you can do so. You can go into your account, into your transfers, and customize your current data flows and make sure that they will work according to your needs. So there's always this flexibility around it. So you can also customize or even extend your current integration, so to speak. So if you want to add more to it, you can do that and have everything in one place, basically. Then we have real-time synchronization. So I think this is really important because we really want to have information up to date in all systems, right? So what you have in your ERP, you also want to have in your Salesforce instance. And when you have users doing all this work, then it becomes a tedious task and it takes time. So when systems talk to each other, then you will have that. The information will be always up to date in both systems. So this is something that will happen instantly and without any type of human intervention. You'll have immediate updates on leads, opportunities, or customers, or anything that's part of the integration. And what this gives you is you'll get a minimum of data latency, and then you also get improved decision making. So it helps you to have everything in both systems, and also it helps you to focus on other priorities within the company. Next point would be customization and scalability. Of course, when we work on an integration, we do adapt to unique business processes and structures because businesses are different. You can be in a specific industry, so then you have specific needs. And of course, based on your requirements, we can make sure that the integration will fit your business process. And of course, we do ensure scalability. For all businesses of all sizes. We can talk about very small companies or let's say corporations. It doesn't, we ensure that for all of them. So if you're a very small company, you have a specific process, we adapt the integration to that, so then you get value out of it. And the same thing happens for large corporations. If you have a more complex process and it's more customized, then again, we can do the same. And of course, we do provide, like I said, customization based on industry-specific needs. Of course, every industry is different, so then you'll have different requirements. So you will then expect a certain level of customization. And that can happen without any issues. We can do that and ensure that you have everything that you need. Next one would be automated workflow. So here, we do ensure, and of course, yeah, we do ensure the streamlining of business processes. Of course, when you have an integration between two systems, then everything is automated, right? So then data will be transferred from one point to another, and you don't need to worry or think about it. So that's something that the integration will do for you. And then, of course, all those repetitive tasks that someone used to do them, right? Those are automated. Next point is about security measures. And of course, we are committed to data security, and we want to make sure that you are comfortable with when it comes to the safety of your sensitive business data. So we want to make sure that all the users are comfortable with that. And this is really interesting because we do offer monitoring and analytics tools. So this will allow you to track the integration performance. What this will give you, so this will actually give you insight into data flows. It will give you insight into the performance of certain data flows and your overall integration, and you can identify bottlenecks. And if you want it to be restricted, then you can work on that. And then you can work on the integration and you can transfer data. But if there is big discrepancy between systems in that sense, then it will be difficult to transfer data without yeah, so I think this, when it comes to errors, we are all in general a bit afraid of errors because, errors are not good. We don't like them. But it's good to get prepared for them from the very beginning, because you never know. Once the project goes live, then you can, maybe everything will run without any issues, or maybe you'll have errors. You never know. To Rapidi versus the other integration tools, the list we can continue having this conversation, but at the end of the day, I think it's important to take into account everything, right? Make sure that you have transparency over the implementation costs, transparency over the support, whether you have it or not, and then transparency over, how much you can customize your integration, and if so, will you be charged for it, right? So it's really important to know that, and yeah, that's something that at Rapidi, at least, we give you upfront.
And also a link to give us feedback. We will also share the link to the chat. So we would really appreciate to have your feedback so that we can improve the webinars. If you have any suggestion about any topic, also feel free to communicate it to us. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.